Chapter 31. Her answer. I have a husband. In other words, the two daughters used Jiang Chen's fingers to unlock Jiang Chen's mobile phone while Jiang Chen was asleep and then took pictures with Jiang Chen's mobile phone. While Qin Ran was speechless, her attention was focused on Jiang Chen's expression reaction. She wanted to know how Jiang Chen would react when looking at these photos. But the result was disappointing for her. Jiang Chen's expression was basically in a calm state. Qin ran thoughtfully, how could Jiang Chen's expression be so calm? Don't you think about her in that regard? Correct. Qin ran remembered something, and his heart tightened slightly. Jiang Chen had said a word to the blind dated daughter when he was on a blind date. Marriage requires a premarital examination and does not accept women who have died in their stomachs and women who have secretly given birth to children. From Jiang Chen's perspective, it is estimated that Jiang Chen thought she was divorced and now has 2 children. In other words, Jiang Chen did not put her in the scope of mate selection at all. Qin Ran was silent. What she did was a test tube baby. The embryos were first developed outside the body and then the embryos were transplanted into her uterus to develop and grow and then regenerated. Not many people know about her work on IVF except for those relatives who have long been broken, but also her secretary Ning Ruoyan, as well as a few senior executives in the company. And now, she felt that it was necessary to let Jiang Chen know that she had done IVF things, knowingly or unconsciously. Perhaps this could change Jiang Chen's mind. She thought again, but felt wrong. If she directly told Jiang Chen that the test tube baby she made was using Thejing donated by Jiang Chen, she felt that there was a suspicion of moral kidnapping. She felt that it was better to be with Jiang Chen by feeling together. If she was with Jiang Chen, it would not be too late for her to tell Jiang Chen. The question now is, how did Jiang Chen know that she was doing IVF accidentally? Qin Ran thought for a while, she picked up the phone and called Ning Ruoyan. In the afternoon of the same day, Qin's medical officer announced a breaking news. Qin's medicine has successfully developed a drug to cure cancer. The new drug can cure early cancer 100%. Intermediate cancer has reached a 95% cure rate. The cure rate of advanced cancer has reached 55% to 70%. As soon as this news came out, it swept the entire network instantly. Major browser news, major short video platforms, and various TV channels are all mentioning this. When this incident swept the entire network, Qin's medicine officially announced another breaking news. The new drug is called Cancer Buster. Will be applied in major hospitals across the country on 6.1. And the price of Cancer Buster is not high. A box of 10,000 yuan. 1 box can completely cure early cancer. 2 boxes can basically cure mid-stage cancer. 5 boxes of Cancer Nemesis, the treatment effect for advanced cancer, will also be very significant. In addition to these 2 blasting news sweeping the entire internet, some people are also digging into the personal information of the chairman of Qin's Pharmaceuticals. I posted the personal information of the chairman of Qin's medicine to the short video platform and received a lot of likes and comments. For example, there is a video displayed in the form of text and pictures. A few photos of Qin Ran appeared first. Go to the back. Qin Ran's personal information appeared. Chairman of Qin's medicine. Name: Qin Ran. Age: 26. Date of birth: 11.20, 1996. Net height: 173 centimeters. Weight: ominous. Education: bachelor. Marital status: single. Children: 2 daughters, Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyun. According to people familiar with the matter, Qin Ran, chairman of Qin's medicine, had an IVF 4 years ago and later gave birth to Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyun. The number of likes for this short video has reached 1 million and the number of comments has reached 100,000 and it is still increasing wildly. In the comments, FK, 26 years old. He is only 25 years old. Is the chairman of the company at such a young age? The company has also developed such an amazing drug. Qin's medicine is a great pen, but 5 years ago, Qin Ran's parents died in a car accident. Later Qin Ran took charge of the company. It is estimated that the cancer drug has been developed many years ago. FCK. Unmarried. There are 2 daughters. Damn, is it so beautiful. This kind of woman, it is estimated that the average man looks down on it. I never thought that the chairman of Qin's medicine would be so young. Unmarried, have 2 daughters, F King. Whoever gets married, wouldn't it be developed? Struggle less directly for 100 years. Damn it. Heck if Qin Ran has a boyfriend. It is estimated that after today, many rich second generations want to pursue it. There are gradually more videos like this. In one of the videos, the number of likes and replies of 2 comments were directly ranked first and second. Comment: kindergarten teacher. Damn it. It turns out that the mother of Jinian and Ziyun is the chairman of Qin's medicine. Kindergarten teacher. Qin Ran actually has a husband and her husband picks up the children from school every day. After these two comments appeared, many people began to reply. What? Does Qin Ran have a husband? Suddenly I felt my heart broken. FK Qin Ran actually has a husband. Didn't it mean that Qin Ran was unmarried? Is there a mistake? Didn't you mean that Qin Ran was unmarried? Why did a husband pop up again? At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, some more reporters in Qin's medicine began to interview Qin Ran. In the office. A reporter from Jiangning TV station looked at Qin Ran in front of him and asked, Chairman Qin, now it is posted on the internet that your two daughters are the children born to the IVF you did a few years ago. Is it true? Qin Ran said calmly, it's true. After listening to many reporters, all of them were very curious. A reporter from Jiangning TV station then interviewed, why did you want to be an IVF at the time? Qin Ran pondered for a while and calmly said, I wanted to be an unmarried person, so I went to do an IVF. The reporter then asked, why did you want to be an unmarried person? Reporter. Someone said on the internet, do you have a husband? Is it true? Reporter. Can you introduce your husband in detail? In a flash, the reporter's interview came to an end at 5:30 in the afternoon. Just ended. Qin Ran received the message from Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen. Will you come back to eat today? After Qin Ran saw the information, he replied. I just got off work, now I'm going back. Jiang Chen. Drive slowly. Qin Ran. Yes. At 5:55, Qin Ran returned home. Upon seeing this, Jiang Chen said, wash your hands and eat. Qin Ran hummed softly. After a few minutes, several people sat down and began to eat. Qin Ran glanced at Jiang Chen. She was thinking, did Jiang Chen watch the news today? A normal mobile phone will automatically pop up the latest hot news pop-up window. Jiang Chen should have read the news and knew that she was doing test tube babies, right? Regardless of whether Jiang Chen has read the news or not, she will have a chat with Jiang Chen later. Because the reporter interviewed and asked her if she had a husband, she replied. Yes. If the answer is no, those two daughters are in the kindergarten and they may be questioned by the kindergarten children. Then the two daughters will become inferior again. What's more, the two daughters now really regard Jiang Chen as their father. If they suddenly learn that Jiang Chen is not their father, she feels that the two daughters cannot accept this fact. Although the real facts are unknown to others. Chapter 32 Dad, I want you to kiss your mother's face. At this time. There was a call from Jiang Chen's cell phone. Jiang Chen glanced at it. His sister Jiang Qinjin was calling. Connected. Did you watch TV? Read the news. Jiang Qinjin. Jiang Chen, I've seen it. Jiang Qinjin, for the new news 10 minutes ago, a reporter from Jiangning TV interviewed Qin Ran. Qin Ran said she has a husband. And that husband should be talking about you. After listening to Jiang Chen, he was stunned. He also posted some short videos today, knowing that Qin's medical officer had announced two very exciting news. One was the successful development of a new drug for cancer treatment and the other was the new drugs can be applied in major hospitals immediately. There were also personal information about Qin Ran, such as IVF. And now Jiang Qinjin said that when Qin Ran faced the reporter, he said he had a husband and that was him. Jiang Chen glanced at Qin Ran, who was sitting across from him, and then said to Jiang Qinjin, it's not what you think. I'll call you back. Don't tell my parents about this. Jiang Qinjin was silent for a few seconds, okay. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen looked at Qin Ran, today the reporter interviewed you, you said I belonged to you. Explained to you after eating. Qin Ran looked at Jiang Chen calmly. The two daughters were here, so it was inconvenient for her to say more. Jiang Chen hummed softly. After eating, they cleaned up the dishes and chopsticks. In the kitchen, Jiang Chen and Qin Ran washed the pot and the other. Can you explain it now? Jiang Chen glanced at Qin Ran next to him. Qin Ran pondered for a while and explained, the kindergarten teachers and the children in the kindergarten all think you are Chinan and Ziyun's father. If the reporter interviewed today, I would not admit that I had a husband. The teachers in the kindergarten and the children talk. And Chinan and Ziyun now really think of you as their father. If Chinan and Ziyun know that you are not their father, they may find it difficult to accept psychologically. After listening to Jiang Chen, he could understand. Qin Ran did this for the children. Jiang Chen pondered for a while and said, I can't stay with you for long. If you wait for me to leave, Jinian and Ziyun will not be able to accept it even more. You have to think about this. Qin Ran's heart tightened slightly after hearing this. At first, the two daughters were called Dad Jiang Chen. Although she didn't think it was appropriate, the two daughters were in the kindergarten and other students thought they had no father. The two daughters feel a little inferior in their hearts. Simply, she acquiesced to her two daughters as Father Jiang Chen. But she hadn't thought that after Jiang Chen left, would it be difficult for her two daughters to accept it psychologically. Now think about it, it is indeed a drawback. But she likes Jiang Chen now. The difference now is that Jiang Chen likes her too, relying on feelings and then being together. She didn't believe that she couldn't handle Jiang Chen. But what's going on? Today, she deliberately leaked the news to let people on the internet know that she is an IVF. The main purpose is to let Jiang Chen know that she is an IVF. In this way, Jiang Chen knew that she had never been married and might be able to accept her psychologically. But now listening to Jiang Chen saying this, she suddenly realized that she had no way out. From the perspective of the two daughters, if Jiang Chen left, the fragile hearts of the two daughters would simply not be able to accept it. When the time comes, the two daughters will definitely cry and even have some mental problems. From her personal point of view, she is now in love with Jiang Chen and she should keep Jiang Chen rather than let Jiang Chen leave. Is there no way out? Qin Ran didn't expect that there would be a situation like today. If there is no way out, then she can only attack. First of all, you must first adjust your mentality and treat yourself as a hunter, and Jiang Chen is her prey. If her mentality doesn't adjust well and she doesn't know what to talk to Jiang Chen as before, when will she make a breakthrough with Jiang Chen? After tidying up the dishes and chopsticks, Jiang Chen and Qin Ran sat on the sofa with the two babies. Qin Zhinian raised his head to look at Jiang Chen, then looked at Qin Ran and said, "Mom and Dad, we played a new game in kindergarten today, called Truth or Dare, shall we play together?" Jiang Chen, Truth or Dare. He was afraid that the two children would let him kiss Qin Ran. If they really let him kiss, will he kiss or not? Qin Ran also thought of this. The two daughters often asked her to hug Jiang Chen. Maybe playing this game would also let her kiss Jiang Chen. Qin Ran quickly thought for a few seconds and psychologically always hinted that she was a hunter. And Jiang Chen is her prey. Okay. Qin Ran looked at his two daughters at this time. Jiang Chen glanced at Qin Ran. Did Qin Ran never expect that the two children might make excessive demands? But Qin Ran agreed to play this game and he won't be disappointed. Good. Jiang Chen. Qin Zhinian thought for a while, she looked at Qin Ran, "Mom, do you have playing cards at home?" Yes. Qin Ran got up to get a deck of playing cards. Then Qin Zhinian said, "One person draws a card and whoever draws the smallest card will have to be asked questions by the other three or take a big risk." After understanding the rules, Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyuan drew a card first. Qin Zhinian drew 10 and Qin Ziyuan drew 9, both of which were quite large. Qin Ran also drew one and then turned it around and looked at it. She drew cube 7. Jiang Chen also drew a card and turned over the card, which was a 5. "Dad, you lost." Qin Zhinian saw that Jiang Chen had drawn 5 and his whole spirit became vigorous. "Jiang Chen." Qin Zhinian snorted. Qin Ziyuan's eyes brightened a bit after hearing this. She looked at Jiang Chen and said, "Dad, I want you to kiss your mother's mouth." Although Qin Ran was mentally prepared for a long time, he knew that the two daughters might let her hug Jiang Chen. But when the two daughters really asked for it, she suddenly felt nervous and her heart beat faster. Jiang Chen sweated a little when he heard the words of the two children, as expected. The two babies really demanded too much. "Don't fool around." Qin Zhinian looked at Jiang Chen solemnly at this time. "Qin Ziyuan, don't make any excuses to lie to us. This morning Mom and Dad slept with their arms around and kissed. And Mom looks very healthy. So Mom and Dad can hug us." Jiang Chen. He glanced at Qin Ran and saw that Qin Ran didn't speak, he didn't say anything, so. What should he do? "Dad, kiss me soon." "Yes, no ink." The two babies urged. Jiang Chen sweat slightly, what on earth to do now? Qin Ran didn't even say a word. Chapter 33. I want to know why you dumped the girlfriend you talked about before. Could it be? Jiang Chen suddenly thought of something. Qin Ran asked him to play with the two children at the beginning. The real purpose was to use him as a mate and wanted to see if he could have feelings with him in the usual way. In addition, when he was busy working in the kitchen just now, he told Qin Ran to prepare early so that after he left, the two children would not be able to accept it psychologically. From Qin Ran's perspective, would Qin Ran want him to leave? And now? The two children asked him to kiss Qin Ran, but Qin Ran did not refuse but assumed a default appearance. Is this feeling about yourself? If this is the case, what should he do? Dear? Still not kissing. Dad, you're a dear. Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyuan looked anxious, can you hurry up and kiss? Jiang Chen was silent, his mind was thinking. Although he was playing Truth or Dare, would it be a bit bad if he kissed Qin Ran? But Qin Ran didn't express his refusal. But if he really kissed? Dad, kiss me soon. Yes, why doesn't Dad kiss? The two children urged anxiously and suspiciously. Jiang Chen is one of the first two adults at this time, plus the two children have been there to remind him, he is a little bit. Never mind. Jiang Chen couldn't figure it out for a while and he got a headache after thinking about it, so he simply ignored the 3 or 71 and made up his mind. He looked at Qin Ran and saw that Qin Ran's gaze also turned towards him with a calm look in his eyes. This left him speechless and he didn't know how to speak. Kiss. At this moment, Qin Ran said calmly. Jiang Chen. He looked at Qin Ran and actually let him kiss him. Qin Ran is going to fight it out. Jiang Chen hesitated, wondering whether he would kiss him or not. At this moment, Qin Ran moved his position a little closer to Jiang Chen. Playing games with children should not be shameless. You must set an example so that you can educate your children well. Qin Ran calmly looked at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen knew that this was Qin Ran's excuse, but Qin Ran said so no matter what, if he grinds again, he will not look like a man. He looked at Qin Ran's beautiful face. His eyebrows seemed to have spirituality and his eyes were shining like stars, full of spiritual energy. Whether it was skin or facial features, they were very delicate. In popular words, Qin Ran is the best. After Jiang Chen calmed down, his face slowly approached Qin Ran. As he got closer and closer, he felt Qin Ran's breathing. After Qin Ran's breath was breathed into his lungs, he felt very fresh. As Qin Ran got closer and closer, Qin Ran couldn't help feeling more nervous and his heart was beating faster even though his complexion was still calm. At this time, Qin Ran clearly felt Jiang Chen's lips fall on her face, but only slightly, but even so, Qin Ran still felt a very strong feeling. Her face was flushed involuntarily. Next second. Seeing Jiang Chen approaching her mouth, she touched her mouth lightly and then naturally backed away. Mom, it's time for you to ask, are you going to play the truth or take a big risk? Qin Ziyuan looked at Qin Ran and said. Qin Ran recovered her senses when she heard Qin Ziyuan's voice. She glanced at Jiang Chen, I choose the truth. Qin Ran pondered for a while and said, among the girlfriends you talked about, did you take the initiative to dump them? Jiang Chen didn't expect Qin Ran to ask this question, but he could understand that Qin Ran wanted to know more about his emotional experience. Yes. Jiang Chen. Qin Ran saw that Jiang Chen said frankly that he had dumped someone else. Could it be that Jiang Chen dumped the girl in the previous investigation? Is there really another reason? Mom, what does it mean to dump someone? Is it to pick up the person and throw it out? The 2 children looked at Qin Ran suspiciously. Qin Ran nodded lightly. The 2 babies are a little strange, what is there to ask about this question? Then, entered the next round. Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyuan drew a card first, and both children drew 9. Jiang Chen also drew a card at this time. He drew 10. Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief, he wouldn't lose this time. Qin Ran saw that the 2 daughters drew 9, while Jiang Chen drew 10. She feels that she might lose a lot. She drew 1 at random, it was a 6. Mom, you lost. Qin Zhinian looked at Qin Ran with a little weirdness in her eyes, she said, Mom, I want you to kiss your father for a minute. Don't let it go, it's the same as on TV. Qin Ziyuan smiled and said, I want my mother to sleep with Dad and Zhinian tonight. Qin Ran. Jiang Chen sweat slightly, kiss for a minute. Mom, kiss me soon. The 2 children wanted to see their mom and dad kiss and urged excitedly. Qin Ran was a little nervous when he heard her daughter's request. After all, this was a kiss for a minute. Qin Ran was a little entangled, but she told Jiang Chen before that playing games with her daughter can't be a rogue. You must set a good example so that you can educate your daughter well. If you don't kiss at this time, wouldn't you be beaten in the face in seconds? Qin Ran was silent for a while, she looked at Jiang Chen, is there a problem? Jiang Chen looked at her and Qin Ran asked him if he had any problems. If there were no problems, he could kiss. Only. Jiang Chen had a headache. Qin Ran was so active all of a sudden that he could even kiss him directly. He felt that Qin Ran was using the most traditional way to attract him. And he didn't think about many things. There was a moment of silence, Jiang Chen felt uncomfortable and simply relied on his feelings. No problem. Jiang Chen said. Qin Ran didn't say anything, her face slowly approached Jiang Chen and she clearly felt Jiang Chen's exhalation. After the exhaled breath was inhaled into her lungs, she actually felt very good. Slowly, her red lips touched Jiang Chen's. Both of them looked at each other's eyes with their eyes open and at the same time they breathed in each other's breath into the lungs. A full minute and a half passed. Qin Ran retreated first, she didn't say anything, her expression was calm and she didn't feel shy. Jiang Chen didn't say anything, just that the atmosphere was a bit unusual. Mom, don't forget to sleep together at night. Qin Ziyuan said at this time. Qin Ran nodded lightly without saying anything. Then, entered the next round of the game. Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyuan drew 7 and 9, Qin Ran drew 6 and Jiang Chen was the worst, drew the smallest one. Dad, I want you to hug your mother and kiss you. Qin Zhinian. Dad, I want you to hug your mother and kiss you. Qin Ziyun. Jiang Chen didn't say anything. He did everything he needed to do before kissing, hugging, and so on, but now it's just hugging and it doesn't seem to matter. He hugged Qin Ran and kissed him, then walked away. Mom, it's time for you to ask Dad to do something. Qin Zinian said to Qin Ran at this time. Qin Ran looked at Jiang Chen and said calmly, I want to know why you dumped the girlfriend you used to talk to. Chapter 34. So, what is it now? Jiang Chen looked at her and said calmly, I will use my mobile phone to send you a message at night. Qin Ran hummed softly, without saying anything. Mom and Dad, keep playing. Qin Zinian and Qin Ziyun were still very excited. Stop playing. Qin Ran glanced at the two daughters. Okay. The two babies felt a little disappointed. Until 9 o'clock in the evening. The two babies are sleepy. Qin Zinian said, Mom and Dad, should you sleep? Before playing Truth or Dare, I asked Qin Ran to sleep with Jiang Chen, Qin Zinian and Qin Ziyun. Qin Ran hummed softly. Then, he went to the bedroom. Jiang Chen slept in the middle, with Qin Zinian and Qin Ziyun on the left and right, and Qin Ran beside them. The distance between the two is only a baby apart, very close. After the two babies fall asleep, Qin Ran lay on his side, facing the other side, picked up the phone, and sent a message to Jiang Chen. Do you think I am frivolous? After receiving the message, Jiang Chen glanced at it and then sent a message to Qin Ran. No. After Qin Ran was silent for 10 seconds, he sent a message to Jiang Chen. Why? Jiang Chen was silent for about a minute and sent a message to Qin Ran. I feel that you really want me to be Zinian and Ziyun's father. During this time, I feel that you want to chat with me, but don't know what to talk about. As for why you are so active all of a sudden, I don't know, I can only tell you by feeling that you are not that kind of frivolous woman. Jiang Chen relied on his feelings and the memory of his previous life. In his previous life, his daughters were all grown-ups, but Qin Ran was always single. This alone suffices to explain a lot. As for why Qin Ran suddenly became so active, he could also guess a little. One is because of the child. If he leaves here, the two children will be psychologically unacceptable and may even have mental problems. Second, Qin Ran was moved by him. Although the second point is not very obvious, he felt that Qin Ran had some thoughts about him during the previous period of getting along. Perhaps it was because he told Qin Ran today that he wouldn't stay here long and might leave in a few months, and this sentence made Qin Ran a little anxious. It was also possible that Qin Ran used this method in desperation because he didn't chat very much, not because he didn't want to chat, but because he didn't know what to chat. Qin Ran breathed a sigh of relief after reading the information. At first, she wanted to take the initiative and treat Jiang Chen as a prey. But when she kissed for a minute, she suddenly realized that her behavior might make Jiang Chen feel that she was very frivolous and that she was a very casual woman. In this way, Jiang Chen might leave after playing her. And this is not what she wants. If it wasn't really impossible, she wouldn't do it. Correct. Qin Ran suddenly remembered something, she sent a message to Jiang Chen, why are you willing to hug me, kiss? Jiang Chen's psychological activities, she must also figure out, in case Jiang Chen is holding the idea that it is a bastard to have the advantage. Jiang Chen saw the message from Qin Ran, sweating in his heart, why would he be willing to hug him? At that time, his head was as messy as a mass of paste, and many things couldn't be figured out for a while, only by feeling. After being silent for a while, Jiang Chen sent a message to Qin Ran. I was in a mess at the time, and the two children were urging me again, and you let me kiss again. I can only come by feeling, and kiss as long as I want. Qin Ran. Means, you also have feelings for me? Jiang Chen sweated slightly and returned a message. There are some. Qin Ran. Yes. Qin Ran heaved a long sigh of relief when he saw the message from Jiang Chen. She was afraid that Jiang Chen didn't feel anything towards her. In that case, it would only be a unilateral secret love. After a minute, Qin Ran sent a message to Jiang Chen. You haven't told me yet, why did the girlfriend you talked about before dumped him? Jiang Chen. There was only one that really got rid of. Others, although some of them were part of me, but they just took a playful attitude and didn't move their heart. Qin Ran. Tell me about the one you really got rid of, why did you get rid of others? Jiang Chen was silent for a while, began to type, and finally sent the message to Qin Ran. When I was in college, I talked about a girlfriend. At first I thought she loved me very much, although her behavior seemed to be loving me. People's performance, such as being very clingy, every word I say can affect her emotions. Jiang Chen went on to send a message. At the beginning, although I liked her too, I didn't pay too much in terms of feelings. Until she was very attached to me, she even cried directly because of something I said casually. Slowly, I am getting better and better towards her, and the feelings I give are more and more. Jiang Chen then sent a message. And she slowly became less clingy, and sometimes even when I was kind to her, she turned a blind eye to her. From this moment on, I was reflecting on why she was clingy in the first place. Slowly I no longer cling to people and even gave me a feeling of lovelessness. Jiang Chen then sent a message. Later I thought of a sentence that I often read on the internet. Some women are inherently bad in their bones, you are not good to her, the more she loves you, the more clingy you are, the better you treat her, and the better she is. Improper. Jiang Chen then typed and sent a message. Later, I used actual actions to verify the sentence. I became no longer good to her. She sent me a message, but I would not reply directly. Call me, I would directly refuse to answer. Slowly yes, she started to become very clingy again, buying me breakfast every day, and at this time, I have verified that this sentence is true and some women are inherently nasty in their bones. Jiang Chen. I felt that this was not love at the time. I felt that to get along with this kind of woman, we must use routines, must not be nice to her, or occasionally give her a little sweetness. Only in this way, she will be very clingy, and this way of getting along, not what I wanted, and then I broke up with her. After reading the message from Jiang Chen, Qin Ran was surprised at the girl. She didn't know what to say, maybe it was a cognitive problem. After being silent for a while, Qin Ran's thoughts were already thinking in another direction. She now most wants to know what is between her and Jiang Chen now. I hugged and kissed. Although I kissed him in a truth or dare game, Jiang Chen said that she felt a little bit for her during the chat, and Jiang Chen also knew that she felt about Jiang Chen. All feel. So, what is it now? At this time, Jiang Chen sent a message. Go to bed early. Qin Ran glanced at the message and then replied. Yes. Both put their phones aside, closed their eyes, each thoughtful. Jiang Chen closed his eyes, thinking about some things that happened tonight. Qin Ran can be regarded as expressing his attitude today. It is just that although he has some feelings for Qin Ran, he feels not in place. There is no such impulse for him to confirm the relationship immediately. In addition, he still has a lot of things to understand. Chapter 35. Okay, Dad. Because of his previous marriage, some shadows have been created in his heart. Although the previous marriage has become that way, it is also due to a reason. However, he is now extra cautious about marriage. If there is no such strong urge to want to be together, he always feels a little reluctant. He now has some feelings towards Qin Ran, but it doesn't feel great. Maybe it's because he has less contact with Qin Ran and his life is relatively plain and he doesn't chat and chat, so he wants to be strong. The feeling is also difficult. Unless when he was adolescent, seeing Qin Ran's superb quality, even just a glance, would make him think about it, and even in his dreams, he might blaspheme Qin Ran. But he is not a teenager now, not to mention that he has lived one more life, and after making money in his previous life, he has also slept with some top quality, and now he sees Qin Ran's appearance, he doesn't have that kind of appearance. Very strong impulse. In addition, he knew that Qin Ran was sincere, and sometimes he had some thoughts about Qin Ran, and he felt blasphemous. Follow your feelings. Jiang Chen didn't know what to do, he could only rely on his feelings, and when he couldn't help but want to be with Qin Ran, he would confirm the relationship with Qin Ran. Between him and Qin Ran, he hasn't reached that level yet. The next day, the sky turned white and the morning sunlight poured into the room through the window. And this time, Jiang Chen and Qin Ran woke up almost at the same time. Jiang Chen slowly opened his eyes. At first, his vision was hazy and then gradually became clear. He saw Qin Zhinian who was sleeping next to him in his arms and also saw Qin Ns. He turned his head and glanced at Qin Ziyuan next to him. Finally, he glanced at Qin Ran and saw that Qin Ran was also looking at him. Jiang Chen saw the scene of waking up. He didn't know what was going on. He felt that Qin Ran and Qin Ran were really a husband and wife. When he woke up, he saw Qin Ran and the two children, giving him a sense of family warmth. He had never experienced this kind of family warmth in his previous life. Although he had a wife and children in his previous life, there was a gap between him and Liu Na. When he woke up every day, he would not feel warm. And now, he clearly felt the warmth. This feeling makes him feel very good. Qin Ran next to him was also completely awake at this time. The first time she woke up, she saw Jiang Chen and Qin Zhinian and then Qin Ziyuan on the other side. A few seconds after waking up, she had an illusion, as if Jiang Chen was really her husband. At the same time, there is also a strong sense of family warmth. When I wake up, I can see both my two daughters and Jiang Chen, and I feel that this is what a complete family should look like. And this feeling, she had never experienced it before. In the eyes of outsiders, she feels that she is rich when she is rich, but she is rich, but she does not feel how happy she is. Money is a material need. And she is not short of money, she doesn't care much about money and more concerned about spiritual needs. In addition, she has reached the age of talking about marriage, sometimes picking up children after school, and seeing the appearance of many couples of the same age who are very affectionate. She is also very envious in her heart. At this time, Qin Zhinian and Qin Ziyuan woke up one after another. When the two children saw Jiang Chen and Qin Ran, they called out, "Mom and Dad. Aren't you sleepy? If you're sleepy, sleep a little longer." Jiang Chen looked at the two babies and said. "The two babies are still a bit sleepy," Qin Zhinian said with a sleepy look. "Well, I'll sleep a little longer." Then, the two babies fell asleep. Jiang Chen looked at Qin Ran at this time. "If you are sleepy, sleep a little longer." Qin Ran shook his head lightly and said softly, "Not sleepy." Jiang Chen hummed, then got up and washed. Qin Ran also got up to wash. After washing, the two children also woke up at this time. Jiang Chen said to Qin Ran, "You take your children to wash first, and I'll make breakfast." "Good." Qin Ran. Jiang Chen went to the kitchen to stay busy. After 20 minutes, breakfast was ready, and at this time Qin Ran and the two children also washed up and walked over. The four of them sat down to eat. Qin Ziyuan looked at Qin Ran who was sitting opposite and said, "Mom, did you sleep soundly last night?" Qin Ran glanced at her. "It's okay. Will you sleep together every day from now on?" Qin Ziyuan. Qin Zhinian also looked at Qin Ran expectantly. Qin Ran. "Yesterday I slept together because I lost in Truth or Dare. And still sleep together in the future." Although she and Jiang Chen both expressed their opinions yesterday and both felt a little bit towards each other, but she doesn't know what kind of relationship is between her and Jiang Chen now. As for sleeping together. "Okay, Mom." The two children looked at Qin Ran. Qin Ran was silent for a few seconds, asked Dad. Jiang Chen was a little confused after hearing this. "Dad, okay." The two children looked at Jiang Chen at this time. Jiang Chen. After a few seconds of silence, Jiang Chen glanced at the two babies. "Okay." "Oh yeah." After listening to the two children, a happy smile suddenly appeared on their faces. Jiang Chen sighed in his heart. He came based entirely on his feelings. He wanted to come. He kissed yesterday, hugged him, and slept together. Now suddenly he doesn't sleep together. What can he do? Even sleeping together now seems to be fine. Only, the relationship between him and Qin Ran is a bit unclear and his behavior is very ambiguous from outsiders. What's more, he gets along with Qin Ran like this every day. What's the matter? After all, the relationship between him and Qin Ran is not a boyfriend or girlfriend. But Jiang Chen didn't know what to say. Qin Ran, who was sitting opposite, saw that Jiang Chen agreed and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, but it felt strange. She and Jiang Chen are not a boyfriend or girlfriend, so she sleeps together like this. But she is not disgusted. Even. After eating breakfast and playing with the two children for a while, Jiang Chen looked at Qin Ran and said, "I will send the children to kindergarten first. I'm not going to work today, let's end it together." Qin Ran. Jiang Chen looked at her, "Isn't your company talented yesterday?" Qin Ran explained, "The company's affairs have been arranged a long time ago. It doesn't matter whether I am here or not, I can call if I have something to do." Qin Ran added, "Although I am the chairman of the board, the chairman is actually not busy, as long as he controls the overall situation and the development direction of the company." Jiang Chen. "Okay, let's end it together." Jiang Chen. "Yeah." Qin Ran. The two sent the two babies to kindergarten together and after sending them out, they sat in the car. Jiang Chen glanced at her and asked, "You are not going to work, what are your plans today?" "No plan." Qin Ran glanced at him, "What are your plans?" "No plan." Jiang Chen. Qin Ran was silent for a few seconds, then go home. Jiang Chen, what about after returning home? How many words can't be talked a day when two people are together like before? Chapter 36. Marry me or not, what I said is worth it. Jiang Chen thought for a while and said, "Would you like to go shopping in the mall?" Qin Ran, okay. Jiang Chen drove to the nearest mall, arrived at the mall, parked the car, and entered the mall. There are quite a lot of people in the mall in the morning. Among them, many couples and couples with children usually hold hands between couples or boys put their arms on girls' shoulders. As for couples, few hold hands and they usually hold their children. At this time, a young youth looked at Qin Ran and then said to his girlfriend next to him, "Isn't this Qin Ran, the chairman of Qin's Medicine?" After hearing this, the young man's girlfriend couldn't help looking at Qin Ran and recognized Qin Ran at first sight. Yesterday, news about Qin's Medicine and personal information about Qin Ran were exposed on the internet and the amount of likes and comments reached a terrifying level. Qin Ran. FK. I saw the deity. This is Qin Ran's husband. FK, Qin Ran's husband. Suddenly, more and more people recognized Qin Ran and guessed that Jiang Chen was Qin Ran's mysterious husband and a few even picked up their phones to take pictures. Seeing that they were taking pictures with their mobile phones, Jiang Chen couldn't help turning his head immediately and then took Qin Ran's hand and said, "Go." Qin Ran. Qin Ran ran out with Jiang Chen until he reached the underground garage and got into the car. Qin Ran looked at Jiang Chen, "What are you running?" Jiang Chen glanced at her and said, "There are so many people around, still taking pictures and not running." Qin Ran raised his eyebrows slightly, "Yesterday my personal information was exposed on the internet and it's normal for them to take pictures with their mobile phones. I will come out often in the future. They see more and they won't take pictures again." Jiang Chen was silent for a while and he said, "I will have a blind date behind me. If they photograph me, they will make a title on the internet saying that I am your husband and the blind date daughter will recognize me." After Qin Ran heard this, his face instantly darkened and he wanted to go on a blind date later. Seeing Qin Ran's face suddenly became colder, Jiang Chen couldn't help being silent. For a while, both of them were silent while sitting in the car. After about 5 minutes, Jiang Chen pondered for a while and said, "I will go on blind date 6 more times." After hearing this, Qin Ran had doubts in his eyes. "Why do you want to go on blind date 6 more times?" "Obsessive compulsive disorder, I have met 4 times and another 6 times, make up the whole, and then end." Jiang Chen. Qin Ran frowned slightly, she was silent for a while, her tone was a little dark, "You know in your heart what happened yesterday. If it is your blind date daughter, they sleep with other men at night and go on blind date with you. You don't feel nauseous?" Jiang Chen, cursing people without dirty words. Jiang Chen pondered for a while and said, "After I went on a blind date, I didn't start from discussing marriage or marrying, or I didn't understand some women and wanted to say something to them." Qin Ran looked at Jiang Chen, frowning slightly, "Are you very free? Not idle?" Jiang Chen said, he couldn't tell Qin Ran about the system. The reason he just said would make people very speechless in the eyes of others. Qin Ran looked at him, "Not every woman is like that. If you go on a blind date, you may also meet a good girl in the next 6 blind dates, and you don't start a blind date with people on marriage, which wastes people's time. Energy. There you bet." Jiang Chen was silent for a few seconds and looked at her, "If it was the 6 blind dates after me, those blind dated girls had obvious problems, it means you lost." Qin Ran's eyes flashed, she looked at Jiang Chen, "What are you betting on?" Jiang Chen thought for a while, what to bet. Qin Ran is also thinking, if it is a bet, what? When she wanted to come, in the next 6 blind dates, not every blind date could have a problem. In addition, Jiang Chen's conditions are not bad. There is a wedding room, no mortgage, a car, and academic qualifications. The height and appearance are all online. In addition, the cooking skills have reached the top level. Kung fu attainments have reached a certain level. On the whole, Jiang Chen is also very good. The only difference is that I have no money and no background. In such an excellent situation, most blind date women should be optimistic about Jiang Chen. Therefore, she has a great chance of winning. What's more, the bet is whether there are obvious problems with the blind date girls. 6 blind dates mean that there are 6 blind date girls. She is a little bit unbelieving that all 6 blind date girls have problems. Therefore, her chances of winning are greater. At this time, Jiang Chen pondered for a while, he looked at Qin Ran and said, "If I win, you will do husband and wife affairs with me." After Jiang Chen finished speaking, his heart was slightly sweaty and he just said something like this when his head was hot. Perhaps it was because he and Qin Ran had already kissed, hugged, and slept together, plus Qin Ran was interested in him and he had some feelings for Qin Ran. Speaking of this, I didn't feel a sense of disobedience. Qin Ran couldn't help being stunned when he heard Jiang Chen's bet. If she loses, would she do what Jiang Chen would do between husband and wife? How could Jiang Chen say these words? Qin Ran was silent, but also thinking. This is a bet. If she loses, what Jiang Chen did to her, she has no reason to hold Jiang Chen responsible for her. It's just that she has some doubts in her heart, why does Jiang Chen take this as a bet? After all, Jiang Chen now knows that she has thoughts about Jiang Chen. If she continues to get along, something that should happen will naturally happen between her and Jiang Chen. Could it be? Does Jiang Chen not want to be responsible? Just want to play with her? Qin Ran thought about it and quickly rejected this idea. She felt that this idea could not stand scrutiny. During this time of getting along, especially in the last few days, she felt that Jiang Chen also had some thoughts about her, and Jiang Chen's character was now affirmed by her, Jiang Chen should not just want to play. So, why did Jiang Chen take this as a bet? Qin Ran couldn't figure it out, and if she couldn't figure it out, she put forward a condition in a way to protect herself. She pondered for a while, yes, but we need to add a precondition. What conditions? Jiang Chen looked at her, feeling a little surprised, Qin Ran actually agreed to the bet, although a condition was added. Ran looked at Jiang Chen with a calm expression. If I lose this time, after those things happen between you and me, in this life, you can't marry anyone except me, and you can't happen to anyone else. Some things that shouldn't happen, besides, whether to marry me or not is not what you say, but what I say. Jiang Chen. Is this condition too harsh? Jiang Chen was silent for a while, he looked at Ran. If you win, what are you going to do? Ran looked at him calmly. If I win, you can't marry anyone except me in your life, and you can't do anything with other women. In addition, if you marry me or not, I have the final say. Chapter 37 I have a secretary. Ran wondered if Jiang Chen would agree to her terms. If you agree. It means that Jiang Chen just used something with her as a bet, not that he was irresponsible after playing with her. If Jiang Chen disagrees. Okay. Jiang Chen said at this moment. At first he asked Ran if he would dare to bet, and he didn't really want to bet with Ran. It's just that Ran thought that he was wasting the time of the blind date by continuing to go on blind date. Therefore, he made a bet with Ran. As for the bet, it's purely a hothead, a silly remark made at the moment. Although he has agreed to Ran's conditions now, after he wins, as long as nothing happens to Ran, nothing will happen. After all, he is sure to win. Ran stared slightly. Jiang Chen agreed. Doesn't that mean that what Jiang Chen said at the time was not that he wanted to play with her and was irresponsible? Ran was silent for a while, her eyes were fixed on Jiang Chen, and she said calmly, did you figure it out? If you agree, you can't go back, and you will have to pay a price to go back. Ran calmly reminded, with my current energy, if I want to target you, it's easy. Where do you want to work? As long as I say hello, that company will not hire you. If you want to start a business, I can easily bankrupt you. Jiang Chen nodded lightly, think about it clearly, but if I win you, but nothing will happen to you, so the condition you added will have no effect. Ran was still thinking about it, she agreed to the bet, no matter what the result was, it would be beneficial to her. But I just didn't expect that if Jiang Chen won her and nothing happened to her, then her condition wouldn't be ineffective. Ran looked at Jiang Chen with doubts in his eyes, then what's the point of your bet with me? After speaking, Ran realized something. At first, Jiang Chen would bet with her because she felt that Jiang Chen was wasting the time and energy of those good girls by continuing to go on a blind date. That's why Jiang Chen made a bet with her. But at the beginning, she showed disgust with Jiang Chen for blind date and even turned around and cursed Jiang Chen. And now that the bet is made, it is equivalent to her agreeing to Jiang Chen to continue the blind date. Ran thought of this, only to realize that she was hit by Jiang Chen's tricks. However, the premise is that Jiang Chen can beat her. You look very confident. Ran looked at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen didn't say anything. As a rebirth, he still had this confidence. You can't go to a crowded place, go home. Jiang Chen said, and then started the car. Go home? Ran glanced at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen realized something, he corrected, go back to your home. Ran didn't say anything, she was thinking about what she said to Jiang Chen at that moment. Why did Jiang Chen bet with her? The bet with her was because she felt that Jiang Chen would continue to have a blind date and she didn't start the blind date by discussing marriage, but just wanted to make a blind date with some daughters. And she said that in the next 6 blind dates, you may also meet good girls. In this way, it is a waste of other people's time and energy. That's why Jiang Chen made a bet with her. And this is not the most important reason. What is important is that Jiang Chen's real starting point for betting with her, she now thinks carefully about the situation at the time, Jiang Chen cared about her feelings and told her that he had a blind date for 6 more times. Finish. In other words, Jiang Chen still has her in his heart, but maybe the feeling between her and Jiang Chen has not reached the level where the relationship can be determined, so Jiang Chen continued the blind date on the grounds of betting. If Jiang Chen didn't care about her feelings, he wouldn't be silent for a few minutes before telling her 6 more blind dates. If she didn't care about her feelings, Jiang Chen didn't need to tell her this. After figuring it out, Ran's thoughts turned in another direction. She definitely hopes she can win this bet. If she wins, then Jiang Chen will be in her bag, let her kill. Even if Jiang Chen wanted to regret it, she wouldn't agree, as she just said, if she really wanted to target Jiang Chen would end up miserably. But there is a premise. The premise is that she can win. If you can't win, everything is empty talk. At this moment, Jiang Chen, who was driving the car, said, when I go on a blind date, you can't cheat, such as secretly finding an actor to go on a blind date with me. Ran glanced at him, I look like that kind of person. Jiang Chen didn't say anything. At this time Ran said, you can't cheat secretly and find an actor. Jiang Chen glanced at her, sometimes I believe in fate, if I lose, it means that we are fate, if I win, it means that fate is not there, let alone, my blind date is for some blind date girls. not to find an actor to have a blind date with him. Ran didn't say anything and it was considered to have approved what Jiang Chen said. It's just a bit speechless in my heart. Jiang Chen could not understand the blind date girls and went to the blind date girls. There is also obsessive-compulsive disorder. During her time with Jiang Chen, she did not find that Jiang Chen had obsessive-compulsive disorder. After 15 minutes, I returned to the villa. The two sat on the sofa and turned on the TV. Just a few seconds after turning on the TV, there was a scene of the male and female protagonists on the TV. Jiang Chen was speechless. Is it such a coincidence? Ran was also speechless and encountered the same situation as Jiang Chen watching TV last time. But the difference is that the last time she and Jiang Chen saw such a scene, they would feel very embarrassed. And now, it feels okay. Maybe it was because she kissed yesterday, hugged her, and slept together. In addition, she had a lot of conversations with today. She felt that the distance between Jiang Chen and Jiang Chen was closer because of what happened in the past 2 days. After a while, the male and female protagonists in TV dramas are getting too much. It's not as simple as kissing. Jiang Chen. Ran couldn't help feeling nervous when seeing this scene. She hadn't experienced such a scene yet. Ran picked up the remote control and immediately changed the channel. It's news. News in the morning. The news on TV mentioned Qin's medicine and the company's newly developed cancer nemesis. Seeing this, Ran couldn't help looking at it seriously. After a while, Ran didn't read the news again. At this time, there was a call from Jiang Chen's cell phone. Jiang Chen glanced at it. His mother was calling. Hey mom. Jiang Chen. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock noon, I will have a blind date in Wanjuan building. I will send you the girl's information now. Jiang Ma said straight into the subject. Jiang Chen, okay. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Chen received a message on his cell phone within a short while. At this time, Ran glanced at Jiang Chen and said quietly, prevent you from cheating, and if you don't tell the truth, I will be there when you go on a blind date. Jiang Chen glanced at her, are you not going to work? Ran, I have a secretary. Jiang Chen. Chapter 38. Speaking of it, it's been a long time since I was so happy. For the next 10 minutes, Jiang Chen and Ran didn't talk anymore. The two watched TV from time to time and occasionally played with their mobile phones. Jiang Chen felt that watching TV or playing on his mobile phone was always boring. At this moment, he gave Ran a glance and somehow, he wanted to have some physical contact with Ran again. Maybe it was because I kissed and slept together yesterday, plus I had a lot of conversations with today. Ran's purpose is very clear. He wants him to marry her. He could also feel that Ran liked him from the bottom of his heart. As for himself, he felt that after he was reborn, his feelings towards Ran were almost the same every day. At first, he only felt that Ran was a good person and had excellent conditions in all aspects. Then, in the day-to-day getting along, he found that he gradually felt for Ran and felt more about Ran every day. Especially in the last 2 days, he has not had a lot of physical contact with Ran. Coupled with the many conversations with Ran in the past 2 days, I feel that the relationship between him and Ran has become much closer. The relationship is so close, he feels that it is not impossible to put Ran to sleep now, but there is a premise that Ran will let him sleep only when he clearly says that he wants to marry Ran. And he is still going on a blind date, and what happened to Ran while going on a blind date is always a bit bad. Not long ago, he also said that the starting point of his blind date was not to discuss marriage. So, even if he doesn't happen to those things with Ran now, some other behaviors should still be possible, right? Jiang Chen was leaning back on the sofa at this time and his right leg leaned to the right, just touching Ran's leg. Ran glanced at Jiang Chen's leg, then glanced at Jiang Chen, but said nothing. When Jiang Chen saw this, he knew in his heart that yesterday, he kissed Ran and this happened. He just touched Ran's leg and Ran wouldn't feel anything. And Ran's state of mind made him a little bit intolerant. At this moment, he felt as if he had returned to puberty and the hormones were breaking out and it was difficult to suppress. He wanted to have more physical contact with Ran at this moment. In addition, he and Ran were not boyfriends and girlfriends, but such physical contact made him feel a bit irritated in his heart. About a minute later, Jiang Chen looked at Ran next to him and said, it's boring to watch TV and use your phone. How about giving you a massage? Jiang Chen remembered the 10 times refreshing talent reward he signed in. If he gave Ran a massage. Ran looked into Jiang Chen's eyes. Just now Jiang Chen deliberately put his leg on the edge of her leg and she felt that Jiang Chen wanted to make physical contact with her. And now, want to massage her? Do you want to have further physical contact with her? Ran quickly thought for a few seconds, okay. Ran agreed. She just changed her position and thought. She felt that her current self was very attractive to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen had a strong physiological reaction when she saw her now. And she agreed to let Jiang Chen massage, first because everything that should have happened before, just massage, nothing. The second is that she also wants to have more physical contact with Jiang Chen. Only in this way can she completely attract Jiang Chen. Just like this, she will catch Jiang Chen's appetite, but she will not let Jiang Chen really get her. That way Jiang Chen will probably be crazy. Third, if Jiang Chen made excessive behaviors during the massage, she could use this as an excuse to use Jiang Chen. No matter what, it's good for her. Lie down on the sofa. Jiang Chen said after hearing this. He looked at Qin Ran, thinking in his mind, and some bad taste was also born in his heart. He signed 10 times the refreshing point reward, and the person who had physical contact with him could increase the other's refreshing point feeling tenfold. In addition, Qin Ran didn't resist contacting him at all, and even probably would be willing to contact him. Feeling and psychologically accepting him, if he massages Qin Ran, the effect will not be as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Qin Ran didn't say anything, she turned around and lay on the sofa. Jiang Chen also moved his position, and his hands first fell on Qin Ran's shoulders, the frequency was slow, and the strength was light and sometimes heavy. While massaging Qin Ran, he was also observing Qin Ran's face, but after a while, Qin Ran turned his face to the other side, so that he could not see Qin Ran's face. But this is not important. Jiang Chen pressed Qin Ran's shoulder for a while, and then began to press Qin Ran's back. If possible, he really wanted to massage Qin Ran like a technician in the club. But forget it. His fingertips lightly stroked Qin Ran's back. This is also a type of massage. This kind of massage can give a feeling of instantaneous flow of lines on the back. Yeah. At this moment, Qin Ran couldn't help but let out an humming sound. When Jiang Chen saw this, he didn't say anything and continued to massage Qin Ran. After a while, Jiang Chen pressed Qin Ran's waist with his strength from time to time, but at this time, he found that Qin Ran's breathing had increased a bit. After pressing his waist, Jiang Chen's hands landed on Qin Ran's hip area. Qin Ran buried her head there, her face flushed. It was not that she had never massaged, sometimes she would go to massage and relax when she was tired from work. But now Jiang Chen massages her, she feels. In short, it is comfortable and uncomfortable. Somewhat depressing. Have been holding back. After about half an hour, Qin Ran couldn't help but said, no more. After Jiang Chen heard this, he stopped pressing. He looked at Qin Ran who was still lying on the sofa and asked, how do you feel? Also okay. Qin Ran buried his head there and said vaguely. Jiang Chen smiled, turn around, don't you feel uncomfortable lying on the sofa? Not turning. Qin Ran. Turn around and let me see your expression. Jiang Chen. No. Qin Ran. Jiang Chen didn't say anything, he used force to break Qin Ran straight. At this moment, Qin Ran covered his face with his hands and hair again. However, Jiang Chen still saw that Qin Ran's face was red, and Qin Ran was a little embarrassed at this time, she didn't dare to look at Jiang Chen and immediately got up and walked towards the room. Upon seeing this, Jiang Chen also walked over. At the door of the room, Qin Ran turned his back to Jiang Chen and said, I take a shower and change my clothes. Jiang Chen said, the air conditioner is turned on in the living room and it is not hot and you are not sweating. What kind of bath do you take? Qin Ran didn't speak and quickly entered the room and in an instant closed the door. When Jiang Chen saw this, a faint smile appeared on his face. Why did Qin Ran take a bath? As someone who came by, he knew very well in his heart. Jiang Chen returned to the sofa and sat there with a smile on his face from time to time. Speaking of which, it's been a long time since I was so happy. Jiang Chen muttered to himself, this kind of happy feeling was quite good. Chapter 39 I don't see a guest, let him go back. About 20 minutes later, Qin Ran changed into her pajamas and walked out of the room. She glanced at Jiang Chen, who was sitting on the sofa playing with her mobile phone, and then she also sat on the sofa. Jiang Chen looked at her and then moved his position to the side of Qin Ran, the two of them were very close. Qin Ran. Jiang Chen looked at her and said, do you want to play games? Qin Ran glanced at him, what game? True, big adventure. Jiang Chen. Don't play. Qin Ran refused directly. So persuaded. Jiang Chen looked at her. Qin Ran glanced at him and didn't say anything. Before playing Truth or Dare, she asked everything she should ask. Now if she is still playing Truth or Dare, she made it clear that Jiang Chen would take advantage, although she was not disgusted with it. But she just took a shower with cold water in the room. She calmed down a lot. Now she and Jiang Chen are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Also, she always feels that Jiang Chen is teasing her. What happened to her that shouldn't have happened, but she didn't confirm the relationship with her. This feeling made her sometimes want to bite Jiang Chen and vent her anger. Okay, don't play if you don't play. Jiang Chen didn't matter. He just proposed to play truth or dare, just wanting to make Qin Ran more amusing. If you don't play truth or dare now, you can still play with Qin Ran. He leaned against the back of the sofa, naturally opened his arms, and placed his right arm on Qin Ran's waist naturally. When Qin Ran saw this, he didn't say anything, but was very upset. From an objective point of view, Jiang Chen had been trying to take advantage of her, but he didn't confirm the relationship between her boyfriend and her friend. This is the same as a scumbag. Qin Ran, sullen his face, glanced at Jiang Chen. His tone was a little dark. After 6 more blind dates, what are you going to do? What should I do? Jiang Chen pretended to be stupid. After Qin Ran heard this, her face became colder and she slapped Jiang Chen's hand on her waist. Remove your hand. Jiang Chen took his hand back and said nothing. After 10 blind dates, he estimated that he would be with Qin Ran. Although from the current feelings, he also wanted to confirm the relationship with Qin Ran, there was no way his feelings towards Qin Ran a little bit over the past 2 days. But as a rebirth, as a man who lived one more life. With a girl who likes each other, it is best to wait until the girl can't help but confirm the relationship before he confirms the relationship with the girl. That's interesting. It's also fun. Seeing Jiang Chen not speaking, Qin Ran's expression became even colder. She was silent for a while, her tone slightly colder. What do you think of me? Jiang Chen glanced at her. What do you think I take you for? Qin Ran said coldly. What do you think of me? You know in your heart, I only remind you once, some women are not something you can play with. Jiang Chen's expression was indifferent. I didn't play with you. You know if you play or not, Qin Ran said coldly. I didn't play with your feelings. Jiang Chen said after being silent for a while. Qin Ran looked at him, didn't play with her feelings. She tasted it carefully. Just now Jiang Chen said that she didn't play with her or her feelings. Since she didn't play with her feelings, that is to say, Jiang Chen is serious. Then why not confirm the relationship with her? Then what are the two of us now? Qin Ran stared into his eyes. Jiang Chen glanced at her and said lightly, I work here, you pay me, and you are my boss. After Qin Ran heard this, her face became colder, her eyes were slightly cold, and she stared at Jiang Chen. The salary is not paid. Jiang Chen sweated slightly. I haven't finished speaking yet. From another perspective, the current relationship between the two of us can be regarded as friends. Who is your friend? Qin Ran looked at him. I never regarded you as a friend. Jiang Chen sweated slightly and said nothing. Seeing that Jiang Chen stopped talking, Qin Ran was annoyed to kick Jiang Chen's feet. After the anger passed, Qin Ran wondered, what does Jiang Chen mean now? She could feel that Jiang Chen also had feelings for her, but she didn't confirm the relationship with her, she couldn't figure it out. Things that can't figure it out will make her feel insecure and she will be a little worried if she is insecure. Worrying in her heart will make her instinctively prepared. For a moment, the two were silent. After about 5 minutes, Jiang Chen glanced at Qin Ran and said, it's almost time, let's cook first. I'm your boss. Qin Ran glanced at him and said quietly, I just need to open my mouth when I have food. Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen didn't say anything and went to the kitchen to get busy. As for Qin Ran, he was angry. It was 10:50. The fixed telephone in the villa rang. This fixed telephone mainly contacted the security room of Tianjing Garden and the property of Tianjing Garden. Qin Ran heard the sound of the phone, got up and walked over, then answered the phone. Ms. Qin, I am the security guard of Tianjing Garden and there is a person named Lin Hao at the door who wants to visit you. On the other side of the phone, the security opened the mouth. Qin Ran frowned slightly when she heard Lin Hao's name and she said, I don't see a guest, let him go back. Security. Okay, Ms. Qin, you are busy. After hanging up the phone, Qin Ran didn't say anything and returned to the sofa, then watched TV. At the south gate of Tianjing Garden, there was a young man standing there at this time. The young man was about 180 centimeters tall, thin and dressed in a blue suit. He looked at the security guard who had just finished the call and asked, how? The security guard looked at Lin Hao and shook his head slightly. Ms. Qin is not seeing guests, let you go back. After Lin Hao heard this, his face sank slightly. He came to Tianjing Garden to look for Qin Ran because he had visited Qin Ran's company first. The security guard of Qin's medicine said that Qin Ran did not come to the company today. He came to Tianjing Garden to look for Qin Ran, and the purpose of looking for Qin Ran was because he had seen a piece of news on the internet that was bad for him in the past 2 days. Qin Ran told reporters that he has a husband. As far as he knew, Qin Ran didn't have a husband at all. So he came to Tianjing Garden to confirm whether Qin Ran really has a husband. But now, Qin Ran didn't see him at all. Lin Hao looked at the security guard and handed the security a 95% cigarette. He asked, I heard that Kinran has a husband. Is this true? The security guard took the cigarette and said, I don't know. Lin Hao raised his eyebrow slightly, I don't know. In Kinran's house, besides her and the two children, there is also the nanny, no one else. The security guard looked at Lin Hao suspiciously, why are you asking about this? Lin Hao smiled, he turned and returned to the car not far away, took out 20,000 cash from the car, and then returned to the security room. He glanced at the security guard in the security room and said with a smile, I just want to know if there is anyone else in Kinran's family, you just need to answer me, you will get the 20,000 yuan. The security guard in the security room saw the cash in Lin Hao's hand, his eyes lit up, and then one of the security guards immediately said, Ms. Qin has a man living in the house recently, and Ms. Qin's two daughters also called that man a dad. After Lin Hao listened, the smile on his face disappeared instantly, and his face turned extremely gloomy. Chapter 40 Kinran can see such a poor person. A man lives in Kinran's house. Kinran's two daughters also called that man dad. In other words, Kinran really has a husband. But half a month ago, he still remembered that Kinran didn't have a husband and he hadn't heard of which man Kinran was in contact with. Why did he suddenly have a husband now? Lin Hao looked at the security guard calmly and asked, how old is that man? How does he look like? What is he doing? The security guard glanced at the cash in Lin Hao's hand, then looked at Lin Hao and said with a smile, this money. Lin Hao held his face slightly and handed the cash over, can I say it now? The security guard laughed, the man looks about 25 years old, about the same age as Ms. Qin, and about 180 in height. He is very handsome, and I don't know what he does. What car does he drive? What watch does he wear? Lin Hao then asked. The security guard said, Chevrolet Cruze, what watch is he wearing? He doesn't seem to be wearing a watch. Chevrolet Cruze. Lin Hao raised his brow slightly. Chevrolet knew it, but Chevrolet Cruze didn't know it. But I want to come as a low-priced car because in the luxury car class, he has never heard of Chevrolet Cruze. He searched Cruze on his phone and it turned out. It's just a car in the early 100,000s. So poor, you deserve Kinran. Lin Hao's eyes flashed with disdain, but when he thought of such a poor person, he lived under the same roof as Kinran. Moreover, Kinran's two daughters called Jiang Chen dad, which made him very upset. Lin Hao kept his face calm, the management of Tianjing Garden was very strict and most people couldn't get in at all. Even if he can get in and Kinran doesn't open the door, what can he do? Lin Hao thought for a few seconds, he thought of Kinran's two daughters in kindergarten and he knew that kindergarten. Lin Hao didn't say anything, turned and left. In Villa 001. Jiang Chen made lunch at this time because only he and Kinran ate it and he only made 3 dishes and 1 soup. Scrambled eggs with onions, chicken stewed with mushrooms, Chinese cabbage and beef vermicelli, plus a vegetable tofu soup, very normal home cooking. Jiang Chen went to serve 2 bowls of rice and then sat down. He looked at Kinran who was sitting across from him. Kinran's face was a little cold. Jiang Chen knew that Kinran's face was so cold because he pretended to be stupid at the time, making Kinran very angry. Eat. Jiang Chen took a piece of chicken and put it in Kinran's bowl. Kinran glanced at the chicken in the bowl, then looked at Jiang Chen in a cold tone, between the opposite sex, what do you mean by giving me vegetables? Jiang Chen glanced at her, then fell silent. After being silent for about 2 minutes, Jiang Chen groaned for a while, the time we two got together was too short to understand each other enough. Getting married is not a child's play. Before Jiang Chen finished speaking, he was interrupted by Kinran. Kinran's tone was slightly cold, you kiss me and deliberately take advantage of me, what is it? Jiang Chen corrected, first of all, the first time we kissed, it was because of the 2 babies, the second time was because of Truth or Dare, and you let me kiss, and I slept because of Truth or Dare. You lose. Kinran. Then there was a moment of silence. Jiang Chen was eating, and Kinran was eating too, without saying anything. After finishing the meal, Jiang Chen went to clean up the dishes and chopsticks. After finishing the dishes, he sat on the sofa and watched TV. As for Kinran, he stayed in his room and did not come out. Sitting on the sofa, Jiang Chen couldn't help thinking, is he a bit too much today? No matter what, you can't have a stalemate with Kinran, right? Jiang Chen thought for a while and sent a message to Kinran. Still angry? Kinran didn't reply. Jiang Chen then sent a message. I am still on the blind date and it will be over after 6 more times. Kinran didn't reply. Jiang Chen then sent a message. After the blind date, you can fall in love. 3 seconds later, Kinran sent a message. Who do you fall in love with? Jiang Chen. Guess. Kinran. I feel you owe you a lot. Jiang Chen. Come hit me. Kinran. I don't want to talk to you, I will take a nap first. Jiang Chen. Good. After Jiang Chen sent the message, he felt that Qin Ran should be less angry, so Jiang Chen put the phone aside and then lay on the sofa, taking a nap. In the room. Qin Ran couldn't sleep. She looked at the chat records with Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen said that after the blind date, you can fall in love. She asked who she was in love with. Jiang Chen asked her to guess. This made her want to beat Jiang Chen. The urge to stop. However, Jiang Chen said this obviously because he wanted to fall in love with her. After the blind date, then fall in love with her. Qin Ran wondered, does Jiang Chen feel that it is inappropriate to go on a blind date and fall in love with her? So you have to wait for the blind date to finish. If this is the case, she feels very speechless, can't she not go on a blind date? What's the point of going on a blind date just for the blind date? Qin Ran didn't understand, so he simply didn't want to. She took a screenshot of the chat history with Jiang Chen, and after Jiang Chen had a blind date 6 times, she sent the screenshot of the chat history to Jiang Chen. If Jiang Chen fooled her at last. Don't blame her then. Qin Ran put the phone aside, closed his eyes, and took a nap. Until 2:30 in the afternoon, Jiang Chen and Qin Ran were sitting on the sofa eating fruit. Jiang Chen glanced at Qin Ran next to him and said, Jinian and Ziyuan are going to end school soon, are you going to kindergarten? Qin Ran glanced at Jiang Chen and said in a cold tone, aren't you afraid that if I am with you, someone will be photographed and posted on the internet, affecting your blind date? You can sit in the car and wait, or you can wear a mask. Jiang Chen said. Let's go. Qin Ran talked to Jiang Chen lazily, got up, took a mask and put it on. Afterwards, the two went out and drove to the kindergarten. After 15 minutes, I parked the car in the parking area near the kindergarten, got out of the car, and walked together. At the entrance of the kindergarten, a young man, dressed in a blue suit and glasses, glanced at the watch on his wrist. It is now 2:49, and the kindergarten is over at 3 o'clock. There are still 11 minutes. Lin Hao said with a calm face. He asked a security guard when he was in Tianjing Garden at noon. The security guard said that there is a man living in Qin Ran's house. This man has good looks and is about the same age as Qin Ran. And Qin Ran's 2 daughters called the man dad. This makes him unacceptable and unbelievable. Because before, he clearly knew that Qin Ran did not have a husband or boyfriend, nor did he hear that Qin Ran had too much contact with other boys. In addition, he heard that Jiang Chen drove only a car in the early 100,000s. Such a poor person, what Qin Ran can admire. Even if Qin Ran doesn't care if the other party has money, but when the man approaches Qin Ran, is it definitely not to Qin Ran's money? Want to have both wealth and color? The more Lin Hao thought about it, the more uncomfortable he felt.